you're going through these layers of security. So when we go out from that exterior, there's a fence, there's video management systems. When we look up at that roof, you see the internet and other infrastructure they use for communication.
Even though you do have security in place, it's not constricting security. It doesn't look like a prison. It doesn't look like a military base. You know, they say that you want to treat your kids like you're securing them in a castle and not a prison, right?
There are cameras over here. We got the crosswalk. We have this, solar powered. We got an active school ground right now that's driving.
I really like the fact that we have the cameras in the parking lot, right? The lighting in the parking lot is perfect at this time of the day. Now I like this too, Guy. I like this circular drive here. Helps with the parent pickup and drop off. I'm thinking about the cars driving up through the circular drive and the camera coverage that we have all around us. So if you want to have any kind of license plate recognition to see if that car belongs here or not, they can always upgrade to something different. But right now with the camera coverage that they have and this circular drive gives you a good pathway for understanding who's on your campus.
One of the compliments I would give them too is like looking at the LED lighting. That LED lighting, number one, is energy efficient, but also too, does a really good job of eliminating after hours the school cameras and the video management systems. Another thing I'd like to point out, Mike, is if you look at that classroom over here, that is a good example of a first responder numbering system. What I see here is interoperability was established with their law enforcement partners.
Correct.
And their first responders. Look at what is going on out there. Baseball. We got lacrosse right now. We got some activities. We got tennis. We're at, 7 o'clock at night right now? This whole grounds is being still utilized. These are facility use centers, and it's so important that we, during the day, protect our students and staff, but after hours, like we're seeing here. We have a police patrol. It doesn't appear he's out here on any call, but what he's doing, or she is doing, they're out there because right now there's a lot of people gathering here and they're trying to keep this place safe. So look at that. You're seeing community policing. It takes a community to keep these schools safe.
As we walk up to the school, you can see the cameras as they stitch us together. They stitch everything we've done. So they've captured us actually from the time we walked out of the car all the way to the time we walked up to the front. And they have a really good visualization of us right now because we've got about 4 or 5 cameras on us as we stand here. And this right here is a critical spot because this is a gathering point and also a point for parent pickup.
When we look up at that roof right now, you see the internet and other infrastructure they use for communications. We talked about mass notification. So you'll see a light that says school emergency when flashing. That would be an example about unified life safety systems.
Correct. A necessity when you have an entrance as big as this, and with the glass that you see here, the amount of glass, not only are the bollards, but if you also see the rocks, the large pedestals there, that's another barrier.
The ability to stop a car coming up here is coming up for a smash and grab or an attack of the school.
I know that this vestibule right here is one of my favorite things in a school.
One of the things we noted when we came in here, every one of those doors has a strike on it. All those doors could be programmed to open up for the emergency, or one individual strike can be programmed to just work with the card reader when a staff member comes in. But getting into that building doesn't mean you're into the building, you're just into that vestibule. So the door station there is a video call box that is the ability to see and interact with the guest when they show up. That establishes a security parameter so you do not get somebody into the building that you do not want to get into the building.
Correct. There's nothing here that hasn't been well thought of because it's a well-lit area. I have that camera, and then I have the camera here. and then I have the camera back here.
And I have an audio feed going into the office.
Exactly.
These things can be recorded onto the school's video management system.
Sure.
The transactions and things like that. We're in a vestibule right now. So if I got into here and I'm not supposed to go straight to there, we want you to go to that office.
So here's one of the things, Guy, that I really like about this vestibule is this is visitor management at its best. What it does is it keeps the threat outside of the building, Guy, right? So you're in the building, but you're not in the building where you can harm anybody. So right now, let's say there was a visitor management system that I typically use here at the school. If I were to present my credential and they were to check my background, I wouldn't be able to enter the school. I would be caught here, the doors would be locked, and I would be confronted by law enforcement.
You know, the other thing I would point out too, they have camera stations on big screens over each secretary's head, and they have the cameras running the access control and the alarm points watching over these schools. It's kind of a disturbing trend in K through 12. Is a lot of schools have diverted to the video management systems, but they don't have the command and control station or the emergency operations center monitoring the alarm conditions after hours. If you don't have 24/7 monitoring, okay, it doesn't do you any good just to have your video cameras and review the incident after the damage is done. So the things that we look over on the ceiling, we have the mass notification speakers in there, the PA system, but we also have the internet. So the internet is here for the ability for the students to learn, have their mobile devices, but the cafeteria is below us and there is an overhang. When we look at that, you'll see the video surveillance that they have. There's a lot here for coverage over the overlooks, and when we look down below, there's also camera coverage as well.
Yep.
So the key is just they're thinking of all hazards here.
Yep, agreed. I really like the environment. And I want to continue, Guy, if I may,
Go ahead.
with the lighting. This school has really, really good lighting. And now that it's getting a little bit darker outside and it's getting a little bit more difficult to see, you can see the paths are lit up, you can see the inside is lit up. I really do like the architectural lighting that they've involved in here.
So many of you folks in K through 12 have fire doors like we see here. And these fire doors, they close and they release when there is a fire. So one of the thoughts that you could do is have these fire doors with that sensor we saw on the outside that said emergency in the school. They probably already do this, is have that release and these doors close and they are locked. So why is that critical? Well, number one, I'm partitioning a threat away from the interior this side. So if these doors close and a threat's coming in and these doors close, this partitions the rest of this building off.
Correct. No, that's a great point, Guy. And utilizing these during an active shooter event is critical. And I think most schools should understand that, how important that is, because that'll save lives.
One of the things that we think about is empowering the classroom. You know, when you think about that, what a peace of mind the indicator lock can do.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm in here, I'm in my classroom, and I look over my shoulder and I see that locked. It's locked, right? Or it's not supposed to be unlocked, right? Yep. But I see it's unlocked. It's just simple, left, right.
Right. Simple and so effective.
But I just love this. What's your thought on this?
No. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan, and you know exactly what you're in for. You know exactly what this door is available to do, and it's evident.
I just say it's fantastic. Okay, for our K through 12 end users, that they have all these tools. All I can say to people, they will save lives.
Absolutely.
They will save lives.
Yep.
Consult with your integrators, do an assessment, learn about your equipment, learn about the options that are available to you for empowering the classroom.